Okay. So next subsection B, and says hanging wet clothing in a hot area. Oh, so that could be right. That's problematic. Why is it problematic? So a person would cook the water inside, right? And cook, as we said, it does not mean that it has to boil, right? It's much lower temperature. Okay, so let's see. It is forbidden to place the wet garment or towel near the source of heat, where the water absorbed in it can be heated to scalding temperature. Bo. So I'm going to remind, like when the hand recoils, and it's approximately, here we go, 110 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not that hot, right? It's not boiling, right? All right, so continue. If the water is heated to that extent, one commits the melacha of cooking, bishul, as well as melacha of bleaching, melabain, since the hot water purges the fabric of dirt. The sages therefore forbade placing the damp item for even one moment near the source of heat that could possibly heat it to the scalded temperature if it is left there. So we're going to explain all this. This prohibition pertains to draping wet garment or towel near the oven or fire, over the radiator, of course, or over a hot pot that was removed from the fire, clearly shown. Okay, so let's do this piece from the beginning, and we're going to explain. So now we're going to combine what we learned in this class earlier, right, and also what we learned in our class in Shabbos kitchen, right, because there we were talking about cooking, right, cooking and other things. Okay. Clearly shown, we're going to learn. Okay, so from the beginning. It is forbidden to place wet garment or towel near source of heat where the water is absorbed in it can be heated scalding temperature. So is it going to start evaporate? Maybe yes, maybe no, probably not yet. But it can get to this, as he said, minimum 110 degrees. Okay. Yatzel. Okay. Right. If the water is heated to that extent, one commits the melacha of cooking, bishul. So the melacha of bishul starts from yatzel bo. So when you say like how long you need for this dish to cook. So starting from the point it reaches yatzel bo and until the end process of cooking, right? And why do we know that? Why do we need to know that? Who cares? Yeah, it's a big difference, right? It makes sense. As we said before, there is something that was cooked illegally on Shabbos, so it is prohibited to eat until the time passes. Right, for that person, it is forbidden forever. But for other people, it is forbidden until the time passes after Shabbos that would take to cook this food from the beginning. Okay. Okay. So again, if water is heated to the extent that one commits the melacha of cooking, bishul, as well as melacha bleaching, melabain. So bleaching, just to remind us, we said that bleaching is right, it's a form of dyeing, right? So meaning that when they have a wool, all of the wool combined from the different sheep, it was of course different colors, so they had to make it one universal color, and then keep it white or like dye it in red or blue or whatever, some other colors. Turquoise, okay. Right. So meaning what? This the hot water purges the fabric of dirt. So meaning the bleaching was like to make to wash first this, what is it, the wool, and then make a different color. So that's hot water. That's right, hot water. That's what it does. It removes the dirt. The sage therefore forbade placing the damp item for even one moment near the source of heat. Right. So as we said, the radiator next to the stove, next to the fireplace. Some people have fireplaces, right? Why? Why? And they say even for a short period of time, momentarily. And this concept, I remind you, and I remind all of us that we actually discuss in details in our other class that we're going to have after that. Topic of laws of yichud. So, and this this laws of yichud, there were two opposite opinions, and one opinion said that since, like technically, if these people stay long enough in this situation, it can bring to arise, right? It would be like one of the elements, right? So for this for Hilchas Yichud, as we said, for this arise relationships is a time, the time to have these forbidden relationships. So let's say, I think that we said 2 to 3 minutes, right? Something like that, 2 to 3 minutes. So meaning what? That even if a man would come into seclusion for a woman only for 15 seconds, he comes just to give her message or do whatever, and he leaves. So technically, since if he would be staying there, he could have stayed for 3 or 5 or 10 minutes. So they say it is initially it is forbidden. So same is here. It is not allowed to put this piece of clothing, wet damp fabric, like even for a moment. Why? Because that's what you thought. I'm going to leave it on for 2 minutes, but guess what? People forget things, and he could have and then he forget and would leave it for 2 hours, right? So that's the problem. So that's why sages said near the source of heat is absolutely forbidden.